Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey, reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 232. Before confession, I heard these words in my soul. My daughter, tell him everything and reveal your soul to him as you do before me. Do not fear anything. It is to keep you in peace that I place this priest between your soul and myself. The words he will speak to you are my words. Reveal to him your soul's greatest secrets. I will give him light to know your soul. When I approached the confessional, I felt so much at ease in my soul about speaking of everything that, later on, I myself was astounded. His answers brought a great peace into my soul. His words were, are, and always will be, pillars of fire, which enlightened and will go on enlightening my soul in its pursuit of the greatest sanctity. The directions I received from Father Roesch I have noted on another page in this notebook. See diary number 55. When I finished this confession, my spirit was immersed in God, and I prayed for 3 hours, but it seemed to me like only a few minutes. Since then, I have placed no obstacles in the way of grace working in my soul. Jesus knew why I had been afraid to commune intimately with him, and was not at all offended. From the moment the priest assured me that what I had experienced was not an illusion, but the grace of God, I have tried to be faithful to God in everything. I can see now that there are few such priests who understand the full depth of God's work in the soul. Since then, my wings have been set free for flight, and I yearn to soar into the very fire of the sun. My flight will not come to an end until I rest in him forever. When we fly very high, all the vapors, mists, and clouds are beneath our feet, and our whole carnal being is necessarily subject to the Spirit. O Jesus, I long for the salvation of immortal souls. It is in sacrifice that my heart will find free expression, in sacrifice which no one will suspect. I will burn and be consumed unseen in the holy flames of the love of God. The presence of God will help my sacrifice to be perfect and pure. Oh, how misleading are appearances, and how unjust the judgments. Oh, how often virtue suffers only because it remains silent. To be sincere with those who are incessantly stinging us demands much self-denial. One bleeds, but there are no visible wounds. O Jesus, it is only on the last day that many of these things will be made known. What joy! None of our efforts will be lost. Holy Hour. During this hour of adoration, I saw the abyss of my misery. Whatever there is of good in me is yours, O Lord. But because I am so small and wretched, I have a right to count on your boundless mercy. Evening. O Jesus, tomorrow morning I am to make my perpetual vows. I had asked heaven and earth, and had called upon all beings to thank God for this immense and inconceivable favor of his, when suddenly I heard these words, My daughter, your heart is my heaven. Just a few moments of prayer, and I have to run, as they drive us out of everywhere, because every place, the chapel, the refectory, the recreation room, and the kitchen, is being made ready for tomorrow, and we are to go to bed. However, sleep is out of the question. Joy has driven sleep away. I thought, what is it going to be like in heaven, if already here in exile God so fills my soul? In this section we hear a repetition of some things that St. Faustina had written elsewhere in her diary. The reassurance of Jesus regarding the confessor, Father Roesch, the graces that St. Faustina felt from the reassurances that she received from Father Andras, he put her mind at rest that these things she was experiencing had indeed come from God. He was a holy priest, so he was able to recognize it and to speak with authority. St. Faustina reflects here on the challenge of not responding in kind when others judge and criticize us. It takes supreme effort because we long for justice and vindication, but sometimes this will only come on the day of judgment. But it will come, because while God is infinitely merciful, he is also just. Every unfairness will be set right. God is aware of all that we endure, and nothing is forgotten. During her holy hour, St. Faustina recognizes her unworthiness, but she doesn't despair, knowing that she has the right as a sinner to count on God's mercy, as he assures us. Her prayers are always interesting. She asks heaven and earth and all beings to thank God for the favor of the perpetual vows. There is a spiritual communion that we don't call upon, but we should. We should follow her example. And then Jesus tells her that her heart is his heaven. How beautiful. And she's transformed by love. She speaks of heaven on earth, but I am sure that what she is experiencing in heaven today is beyond our imagination.